Who's a good boy? Oh, look at you. Oh, little fluffy guy. Want the ball? Want the ball? Get it. Go get it.
What's up, everyone? Today, PSVR Asylum reviews Arashi Castles of Sin version 1.04 on the PlayStation VR headset. But before we get this review started, if you're cool enough to help support my channel and growing, hit that subscribe and like the video. I'm a small channel and I need your help to make it successful. Thank you.
Oh boy.
You start off in a remote village, introduced to Haru, a big old fluff ball who's absolutely adorable. You can play fetch with him too, but he has far more useful abilities, as we'll cover that a bit later. A brief look around shows that this is a very pretty looking title, from the period inspired building designs all the way down to the water. It all looks fairly good in the headset. Once done admiring the scenery, I begin my first mission, triggered by speaking to a one-eyed Asian chick. All the dialogue here is in gobbledygook, so be prepared to read subtitles. Eventually she'll be done speaking and then shotgun you a fat-ass hit of some mystical herbs, which apparently signals it's time to get the mission started. You start off with a samurai sword and a crossbow-looking device that acts as a grappling hook for vertical capability. Every level really nails the ancient Ming Dynasty feel as far as visuals go, and the sound design is also done very well, from ambient sounds like water rushing to weapons clashing in battle. The sound design here is exceptional. Arashi is above all else a stealth combat game, stealth being the key word here. Save points will be found in shrines that you locate occasionally throughout each level. If you die, this is where you will respawn. And with stealth being the mechanic of this game, this is where Haru's abilities tend to come in quite handy. You can utilize Haru by distracting enemies so that you can pass them unnoticed to avoid combat. While the visuals and sound design is great, Arashi is not without its fair share of issues. Like right here, I encountered my first what the fuck moment when me and Haru were literally walking in midair. Anyways, not a big deal, I guess. You also do not need to kill or clear all enemies from each level. You only need to locate the purple icon in order to gain entry onto the next level. The combat here is a bit lackluster, as it holds you back from being the samurai that you want to be. It's essentially turn-based combat, where you must first block the enemy's hit and then counterattack, which wouldn't be so bad if they didn't outnumber you at times, making it a bit of an unfair advantage that's not in your favor, especially for someone like me who just wants to outswing and outmaneuver my opponents to completely dominate them. However, you can use Haru to attack an enemy while you sneak up behind them for a one-stab kill. I also learned that taking the high ground is a far better alternative to expecting a fair fight on the ground. Here you can use your bow and arrows to one-shot enemies that are unsuspecting below you. There are also Curse of Sins objects marked in purple that you'll want to just simply approach to uncurse them. Utilizing Haru will become an invaluable in order to avoid what's essentially a QTE combat with enemies. If you can take them down in one shot, then that's the way to go, as far as I've found. Also, you'll want to keep an eye out for vertical advantage points that will allow you to quickly eliminate your enemies by using the bow or even ninja stars. You'll also see numerous flames throughout that you'll need to kill in order to keep your visibility hidden in the shadows. Also, make sure to search around each level in order to find weapon pickups and locate scrolls. Aside from using Haru to distract and attack enemies, helping you to advance through each area, you can also direct Haru to dig in designated areas, which will uncover gold. Furthering along in this mission, it's at this point where I found yet another glitch, where my arrows seem to be completely stopped by an invisible wall of sorts. What the fuck? Incredibly frustrating, which forced me to confront the enemy. I attempted to use my ninja stars, which prior to this all worked great. And now all of a sudden have the fucking impact of a wet napkin, forcing me to yet engage into another uninspired and slow-paced QTE combat session. And it's at this point where I had a complete hard crash when entering an area where I could have picked my weapons out. I was frozen.
Like, I'm moving my arms, they're doing nothing. So I cannot select a weapon because I am stuck. Come on. Fuck me, I'm gonna have to save and quit.
Resetting my position did nothing either, so I had to save and quit.
God damn.
And then the load screen also froze on me, leaving me waiting for about 4 minutes. Eventually, I just hard reset.
Yeah, it looks like I'm fucking frozen on the loading symbol too. What the fuck? Well, it's letting me select shit, but I'm not in the game. Like, hear that? It's letting me do something, but I don't know what I'm doing. Because the loading symbol is completely fucking stuck. I'm frozen. I can't do shit. Like, that's me clicking buttons, that drumming you here, but I can't do anything, because I can't see anything. So I'm gonna have to shut this down and reboot it and go again. That's gonna be a bit of a deduction.
Once reset, I was back at the starting village, reunited with Haru again. And where I also had to once again speak to the one-eyed Asian chick, who must have sensed my frustration because she gave me yet another fat-ass hit off some mystical herbs to help me chill the fuck out. And it must have worked, because it was right about this point of playing that I started to understand how Arashi wanted me to play it. Hiding in the shadows, avoiding direct confrontation, while using everything at my disposal to essentially become an unseen silent killer. More items will become available to you, like poison food, that'll leave your enemies sick, puking, and vulnerable to your attack. And learning to master vertical attacks for those ever so sweet mid-air death jumps. Then you'll start learning to crouch behind your enemies as an unseen angel of death. Making a few sightseeing stops along the blood trails that I've left behind to enjoy the scenery. At this point, I've bonded with Haru, and together we've become an unstoppable dealer in death. We scour the paths ahead, from above and below, strategically taking out our targets together. Like yin and yang, we complete each other. I also appreciate how, although all areas here are linear, you do have options of how to traverse them to get to your end destination. Just look around a little. And if you find yourself stuck with multiple enemies, try using smoke grenades. You can easily surprise attack a whole entire group. And as you get further along, the enemies become more abundant, and the challenge to continue ahead will increase. Killing as many as you can in one hit will benefit you. Otherwise, you'll be slogged down in more essentially turn-based combat. Haru will not always be by your side. You will have areas where you must go it alone. I found these areas a testament to how far I've come along since first starting. Not having ever been one to enjoy very many stealth-like combat games, Arashi managed to eventually immerse me in this character, and where things once felt frustrating and slow, they now felt tactical and engaging. Now, aside from one weird issue where my smoke grenades didn't go anywhere close to where I threw them, and instead kind of launching in random directions, somewhat ruining my plan of attack, this was all pretty fun. And again, I had the same issue with the regular grenades. However, the end result remained the same. My enemies were all dead, so it is what it is, I guess. The end stage bosses are easily recognized by the flaming purple doors, which after a brief full VR cutscene, the battle engages.
これは残念だ。もう生き絶えたか。もっとわしを楽しませてくれようだ。
These battles fall somewhat flat though, as they are just the same battle that you've already had with ordinary enemies, just with a bigger life meter, meaning it takes longer to defeat them. I was kinda hoping for a little more. Once defeated, you'll end up finding yourself back at the opening village, where you'll once again speak to the one-eyed Asian chick. Where you'll once again, you guessed it, partake in a little puff puff pass. Yeah. And this is what the area that my game froze on me earlier is supposed to be like, where you can select your weapons that you'd like to bring with you before entering on to the next stage. And that is essentially the gameplay loop here. Arashi has its issues. I'm not a fan of the turn-based ground combat. I had a few bugs and a crash that caused me to hard reset my console. But there is a lot here to appreciate. It looks great. The verticality here is abundant, and above all, it's engaging. The further I progressed adding new weapons to my arsenal and learning the art of a stealthy kill, the more I enjoyed myself and really started to absorb the role that Arashi wanted me to take on. At first, I didn't get it. I am by nature a murder to your fucking face kind of player, so creeping around and hiding in the shadows to stab people in the back just wasn't in my comfort zone. But after a while, it all felt right. And rather than using bravado and brute force, I was forced to think things through for a tactical advantage to use caution and move swiftly. It's got a lot going for it. I'll give Arashi a 6.5 out of 10. It does a lot right, but falls a bit short in a few areas. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe. As always, have fun, stay kind, keep gaming. I'm out. Peace.